Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. In today's video, just come spend a little time with us. We got a few little things to do. But first, I'm making a couple of chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast. So I'm going to show y'all real quick how I do that. Super simple. It ain't got to be complicated. Alright, we're going to do about a cup of self-rising flour first. I'm just making a small batch, so this won't make too terribly many. A tablespoon of sugar. Now we need an egg. Scramble that just a little bit. Now I'm going to use buttermilk next, but you can use plain milk or buttermilk, either one. There we go. Still got a few dry patches in there, but that's okay. I'm going to melt just a little bit of lard and put in there. Let's add in our melted lard. A little bit of vanilla. There's my beautiful pancake batter. Alright, so first I'm going to make a plain one for Jacob. He doesn't like them with the chocolate chips, so. Put me a little butter in my pan there. While that's cooking, I'll go ahead and add in my chocolate chips to the rest of this. Maybe about a half a cup or something like that. And we'll get those in there. Well guys, there we go. And there's breakfast. The youngins are already eating theirs, and it is child approved. They said they were really good. So I'm gonna eat me a little bite and let's get outside.
So we had a subscriber send Jacob and Maggie a whole pile of seeds. And we're gonna plant a few of those today here.
These are my seeds.
Hold them up here.
These are my seeds.
So Maggie's got some flower seeds and Jacob's got a few vegetable seeds here. What you got? We're gonna plant. You got some cucumbers and some acorn squash. So this isn't all the seeds, this is just what we're gonna plant today. But Maggie's got a few places right out here in her flower garden that hadn't really filled in. So we're gonna take and put those in their place. Maggie, I think this area right here is where we should put them, because most of this is just weeds. So we can pull these. So we have some mallow here.
Daddy, first let's send this one down right here for now, okay? Send that one down right there for now, okay?
Okay, can you hold your hand out?
I got a cup. Huh?
Yeah. There they are. Okay, those are some small seeds, so you need to scatter them over the whole area there.
Take a little handful.
Yep, just a little.
Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle.
Yep, keep it going.
Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle.
So then we're just gonna take and, I ain't gonna use that. We'll just use our hand and cover them up pretty good. We're supposed to have more rain this evening,
So we don't need to water.
so we shouldn't need the water.
Nope. That all done.
All right, hold your hand out. I'm gonna give you some more of the poppy seeds.
Poppy seeds.
I like poppies. I hadn't seen any poppies in a while.
I like poppies.
Now sprinkle those out real lightly.
Do you even know what poppies look like? It looks like this.
She said they look like this. So here's a quick look at her little flower garden here. It's growing like wildfire right now. And then down this side over here.
Yep. There's some flowers over here, too.
So before we go and plant Jacob seeds, I'm going to take you a quick round out here in the garden just to sort of give you a quick update how good things are looking. Our tomatoes, these things are growing, man. They are loving all this rain. I'm not too happy with all the rain right now, but our plants are really liking it. Then these cabbage down here, they ain't even hardly started making a head, just a little bit of a head in there, but look at that. You see how big that plant is? Look at this one. Look at that. Right there's my hand inside of that. Look how big that leaf is.
Mama! Hey, we got my salad plant!
But all these cabbage are looking amazing. The corn's really coming out since the rain. Cucumbers are starting to get their true leaves on them. I'm not going to walk out in there. It's really wet.
What are you doing, Dylan?
Look who found the other chickens.
Them tomatoes right there are really growing. I seen a bean coming up in here somewhere, but I don't see it now. But we should really start seeing those popping up in the next couple of days. Right there's some. He's just pushing through. Everything's looking pretty good out here in the garden. I'm gonna go over here and show you our new chicken setup now though, because we've got that thing going.
Oh my God.
Man, I wish I could have got that on camera. So we have been wondering how in the world we're gonna get the guineas over here with the chickens, because guineas are hard to catch, y'all.
Even at night.
And somehow or another they got out. So over there's our old egg mobile. And we still have, what, about 10 chickens?
Yeah.
We have 10 old chickens over there, and then we've kept 12, right?
Yeah.
We got 12 chickens and a rooster out here in the new setup. But anyways, we've been wondering how in the world we're going to get the guineas over here, because they're like wild animals. You can't just catch a guinea at nighttime.
Even at night, yeah.
So what'd you say? One got out? They got out?
Yeah, I got worried. I was looking for it when I come up through the pasture just now, and I was like, where is my other guinea? Why? Because the other one was running back and forth on the inside of the net. And I looked across here, and it was running around this net trying to get in here. Well, now the other one got out, and Tiger just put them up for us.
Yeah, so Tiger, she's like a chicken dog. She'll get out here, and she'll run these chickens until they fly over the net.
Yeah, she won't catch them and hurt them.
Nope.
If she catches it, she lets it go, but she'll run them around till she knows they're supposed to be in here, in the net.
Problem solved.
I know! Ain't that
Hopefully
awesome?
they stay in there.
We'll see.
But anyways, it's working out good out here. Like, we're really liking this little setup. So far, everything, as long as we have the house turned right, the stuff inside staying dry. We can't put the egg boxes
like
uphill because the rain will come in on them. But as long as we keep that house, that little coop turned right, it's working and it's doing really good. And so far, all of them have been going up at night.
Except the rooster.
Except for the
he's
rooster.
the only one we've had to put up. Yep.
Okay, Jacob, let's go plant your garden seeds down here. I think what do you think about planting those around the apple trees where we've been talking about? Even old Tiger earns a keep around here. So as you can see, right there's the chickens we have left, and most of the chickens we've given away to neighbors and friends, and we're just about emptied this old house out. Then we got to decide what we're going to do with it. Well, let's give Jacob's garden a check here.
Look at my tomatoes.
Your tomatoes are just like amazing. They are beautiful. And we did have an issue with something eating his beans here, but I think they're finally starting to outgrow it. I've been keeping an eye on them, and the same thing happened to the cucumbers. There was actually a cucumber that came up here, You can see the stem right there. And it ate the leaves off of it. But then the rest of them are doing fair. Then these tomatoes down here are looking amazing too. But so what we're going to do today is take the cucumber seeds and replace some of these cucumbers that got eat up, right? Then we'll plant the rest around the trees. You need me to open it? Okay. Just put them back in the same, right there where one was, Jacob. You don't need to put them very deep at all. Perfect. And you can do the same thing right there. So what kind are these? These are muncher cucumbers. There you go. Probably about right there in the middle. Yeah, you can plant 2 hills right there. You got enough room.
It looks good, little man.
Now just throw a little bit of dirt on it. Right there, that's enough. There you go.
You'll have cucumbers before you know it.
So you remember we planted some of these acorn squash a couple years ago?
Yeah, I liked them pretty good.
And they keep good.
Yeah.
Jacob, I think the best ones to put these around, we'll go around this tree because it'll let some light in. We'll go around the pear tree, and we'll do maybe some of these apple trees down the edge here. But this one and a couple of these out in the center, we got some Bermuda grass that keeps creeping up in those, so I don't want to plant nothing else in amongst those. So let's just dig some holes out here and we'll see how this works. There you go. Let's go up here. That'll be enough right there because it'll be shady on that side of the tree.
Yeah, and it'll get big.
Plant one right about there. Let's see here. I think you can plant one right here. How many seeds you got left in your hand?
3.
Okay, that's enough for one more hill. We got onions around those trees. Let's go with this tree right here. Break them sprouts.
Boy, that one's lint bad, ain't it?
I know. I don't know what happened. That one's lint bad and that right there's lint.
Oh yeah, that one is too.
Okay, there you go. There's your seeds. There's your cucumber seeds, and we'll just save those in case we have something that don't come up, we'll replant them. Well, it's quite a bit wet to do any type of gardening work today. We had an inch of rain last night. I ain't told you yet, but that's what we got last night, was an inch.
It was something like that.
But, so we're gonna go out here and see if we can't entice our pigs to go out into the woods. Megan and the kids come out here and went around the fence the other day and checked everything out. She said there's one spot that I need to go check. So I guess we're gonna go check that. And then we're gonna see if we can't lead these things out into the woods. Cause let me tell you, with as much rain as we've had lately, their little lot that we've got them in to kind of learn about the electric wire, it's getting nasty.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see if we can't get them into the woods and get them on some dry ground.
See, I was worried about that because they dug it out so bad, yeah. That's what I figured you might do, but I didn't want to be the one to do it.
It's nice when you got wet ground. You can just, don't even have to have a hammer. That's the bad thing about pigs on a hillside. They're gonna root out against the top side of the pen and they're gonna build everything up on the bottom side. I think they got more power than a D9 bulldozer. But when they're little bitty pigs, you got to think about right around where their nose is going to be. And that's where you want that wire because that's how their You know, they're out here just rooting around with their nose and then they touch it. But if the wire's up here high, they'll end up rooting under it and then touching it with their head, and so there's more of a chance of them
going under it.
I'm gonna let that down just a little bit more. But technically, all you need is that one wire right there. But we like having a second wire. Just kind of gives us a little.
Makes you feel better about it anyway.
Yeah, it gives us a little peace of mind. Well, we're fixing to find out.
Have you hooked it back up with the wire?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the power put back on it. We need to check it, but I don't have my checker down here right now.
No.
Yeah, plug it up. Oh, these pigs is gonna be curious. They're gonna go right out there.
Probably ready to get out of that lot.
Yes, you can go throw some eggs now.
Now remember that fence got power on it now.
I hear the fence popping right over here. It's apparently got power on it. It sounds like it's popping pretty good.
There's one that's getting brave. So it usually takes them a few minutes to work their way out. You'll have a couple of brave ones that come on out. But that's why we have a physical gate here instead of a wire gate, so they can see when the gate is open.
Yeah, and if they see that gate open, then they know that the boundary has been opened.
So there's the first brave one.
He said, "I'm done with that mud hole." Yeah, but at least they got some dry ground in there they can stand on. That right there ain't nothing but a mud hole.
Yeah. We've had a lot of rain.
We've had a lot of rain back to back, and it's funny. We were just a few weeks ago complaining about not getting no rain, and now we've got it all at one time.
We got all the eggs though.
Okay. Well, they're working their way out. This is a good spot out here to show you a quick view of the farm. I know we've had a few comments lately wishing that we had a drone. I kind of wish we had one too, but we don't.
I would love to have one.
But so you can see here, you know, we're out here at our pigs. There's the pasture. There's Apple Valley. There's the chicken house, the barn where I milk the cow. And there's the house. And right on the other side of this building, that's our garden. And here's the goat. You can see the garden right there. So everything's pretty concentrated right here together. Now the pasture goes, it's like it goes on around that patch of trees you see there, like a U shape.
Remember one of those things on my buddy?
Yep.
We got two that ain't done it yet. Once they realize just how far they can go, they'll feel like they're in heaven.
Oh yeah.
Because we got probably, we've never measured it out. I'm just guessing, but it's about 2 acres fenced in through the woods here that these pigs can roam. And it gives them a big enough area that, you know, you don't smell anything. And they've got plenty of shade to lay in. They've got mud holes dug out through there that they can get in and cool off in.
Here comes the second one, isn't it?
Look, there they go. Boy, that was the easiest ones we've ever turned out.
Yep.
Those pigs was ready to get out. Of course, Leona, the bulldozer.
So once the pigs are out like this, they hardly ever come back up here. They come up here to eat, and that's about it. And most of the time, you can find them sunbathing in their mud hole out in the woods. Mm-hmm. That's where they stay. And if you're wondering where we get our pigs from, we get them out of Thomasville, North Carolina. I'll be sure to tag the Facebook page. They really got some good pigs, as you can tell just by looking at these, how good they've done, even no longer than we've had them. So while we're out this way, you've heard us say in other videos, we live on about 18 acres. It ain't quite 18 acres, but I want to show y'all, we were going to do a little walk around, and we're going to show you what most of our land looks like. Now, the usable land, the land that we actually use, how much would you say it'd be?
Oh, me. If you count the land we've got the pigs on and the land where the pasture is, because from here you can't see all of our pasture. It curves around the neighbor's place over there, and you can't see the far side of it from here. So I'm going to say this is just a rough guess. It's probably 7 acres.
That
maybe.
we actually are able to use.
That we actually have in production, I guess as you would call it. The rest of our land is either wooded or straight up and down. So we're gonna go show you.
Yeah, we're gonna go show you that. Let's go do a walk around. This right here actually used to be unusable, and we decided to fence it in for pigs, and apparently pigs do really good on steep hillsides. And unfortunately, the camera never does it justice for how steep the stuff actually is, but...
No, it don't. It don't show up good at all. Yeah, they have mud holes all in this. Look, the pigs are following us. They're like, where y'all going? We can follow you. So just at the bottom of this hill, just to kind of give y'all some perspective, is the road that I done all the work on back, I don't know, a couple months ago. You know, you've seen all that on video. And the road is actually holding up very well. Had a comment asking about the road. It's holding up amazing. It's looking great for right now. And we've had some pretty hard rains since we done the work. So I think it's going to be just fine now.
That's a black and yellow one.
Yeah, there's another one.
Yep.
Look, watch. That one ain't gonna
He didn't roll up like the other one.
It's like a big roly-poly.
Yeah, I can run the floor through here. Now, I'm just gonna have to use both the brakes on my floor.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still walking right on the top side of where our pig fence is.
Daddy, they ain't following us anymore. It's like this.
I guess they got distracted. They'll venture out here eventually.
Did you see that big mud hole down there? That is giant.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can kind of see how much the land rises from just this point right here. It's like right up there is another good, probably 20 or 30 foot taller than what we are. And then down here towards the bottom where the road is another probably 40 foot lower than what we are right now. So the camera probably don't show this, but this right here is fairly steep.
Daddy,
Mhm.
sometimes when I'm going down here, I turn up there and then turn around and come back on here.
That's what
And
I
our
used to
land
do.
kind of follows the ridge that you can see where the daylight is up there.
Better.
But like Andy said, it's pretty daggone steep.
Yeah, you know what I do? Sometimes I come down here.
Right here's the corner of our pig pasture, and it turns right here and follows this old road bed back down to the road bed that we done all the work on a while back.
Daddy, why don't we go through there?
We are. Y'all go on. Cool thing about these pigs is though, after you've left them in here for so long and they create all these mud holes, it's like little terraces on the hillside. So, you know, this is from last year's pigs, and look at the holes there that capture water that would have normally run off. So, you know, I guess there is some benefit to them. You know, they kind of destroy the shape of the land after you've held them in a spot for so long, but at the same time, you know, you're catching water instead of it running away, it's actually stopping on your land and soaking into the ground.
I think it's so cool how they can take such... This is very steep and rocky, and like I said, you can't tell it, but they've made these perfect little ponds.
I think it's amazing how tough a pig's nose is.
Yeah.
Because a pig can dig through a rock. It's unreal what they can do. And we've just got an old road bed that kind of allows us access up into this part of it. But it is steep right here. Like when it's wet, you can't drive equipment or anything up in here because you just can't get in here. Even my four-wheel drive tractors and stuff, if you drive up this road when it's wet, you're going to be tearing it up pretty bad. But I think it's a great combination to have wooded land and open land on your piece of land. When you go, you know, if anybody's looking for a piece of land, wanting to buy something, don't know what they're looking for, in my opinion, the perfect piece of land has about half and half wooded and half open, because, I mean, how could you not like being in this? And why would you ever want to clear this to make pasture land? So if you want to buy something that already has established pasture land, or at least maybe some old overgrown pasture land, and reclaim that pasture land. But once it gets to this stage right here, I would never want to destroy it. Plus, it gives you a good place to go squirrel hunting, deer hunting, and all that kind of good stuff too.
Plenty of firewood.
Firewood, that's exactly right. But most of the land we've cleared was more or less what I would call overgrown fields. We've never really cleared wooded land before. But you can see this is still pretty darn steep right here. I'm sure it probably don't show up, but it is.
And our land line still is following this ridge right here.
The very top of the ridge up there.
Where you can see the daylight.
Y'all keep going. We're going to go on that way. Straight that way right there. So now we're at the spot where if you go back to the wintertime videos, we were up here trying to make us a road is what we were doing, because our road we had stopped right there behind Megan. And we didn't have no way to access any of this up here. And there's actually a lot of good sized pine trees and stuff that run across the top of this ridge that I'd like to be able to get out of here and put on the mill. And so this is where we were at in that video, was right here clearing this out. Well, since wintertime's not here no more, we really hadn't had time to do any more work to it. Just listen. I mean, it's just peaceful being out in the middle of the woods. I love woods. I honestly think that I would probably, if I was buying a raw piece of land, I would probably go for more woodage than I would for open land. I don't know, there's just something about being in the woods.
Now, this is one of me and Maggie and Jacob's favorite thing to do during school, ain't it? We come down here and we go exploring through these woods down through here. We've made this circle many times, ain't we?
We come up here and then we follow the full trail, then we come up here, and then we find our way back to the creek.
Yep, that's right. We like to wander our way back to the creek. Yep,
Have
I
at
think
it.
so.
Hey y'all, we're gonna be going down a steep mountain.
So this is where it gets extra steep.
Yeah, boy, this is where things start to get fun. But you know what? This is one of my most favorite spots of our place. Because, I don't know, there's something about when you get into these little mountain laurel hillsides like this that it just, I don't know, makes it feel, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it, but I just like it. But you can stand right here, and when the leaves are off the trees, the hillside over there is like just straight across from you, but right down in there at the very bottom is our creek. We're close enough to our creek that you can hear it running, like right down here at the bottom. But from here to the creek, I wouldn't be afraid to say it's at least a couple 100 feet elevation drop.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just straight down. And so once you get the bottom of this creek, then just right through that, when the leaves are not on the trees, you can see where our creek garden is. It's directly in that direction right there. And then our land goes back up to the other hillside, and on that other hillside, it's pretty much like this right here. So in my opinion, when you have what I would call unproductive farmland like this, it still serves a purpose. Because where it's not usable for anything, it gives you a place just to come and just listen to nature, I guess you would say. We're gonna walk down this hill.
Well, the youngins done did. They left us. I don't know if that's a deer path or what down there, but something's kept that kindly.
I see that. I bet it's deer. It's wore out, ain't it?
Yeah.
Is Tiger with y'all? Okay.
But this hill right here is so steep, you about want to
Get down and slide.
Yeah, you about could sit down and slide.
So we say our land's unusable because it's too steep, but at one time my grandpa used it. Right here is what's left of the barbed wire. You can see there was some there, one there, and one there. That's where he used to keep his donkey, or his mule.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, his mule. He used to keep it fenced in over here, and that's what's left of the fence. That's been there a long time. Apparently these are some slow growing trees. How would you like to string a strand of barbed wire up through this?
I know, right?
Let's see, let's go that way.
Yeah, buddy, it gets thick in here. Some of this is blooming.
Hmm?
This mountain laurel, some of it's blooming.
I see some over there across the creek is blooming.
Here we are about to come out at the creek. It's flattening out. It goes from straight up down to flat.
Yeah, so right there, look at that mountain laurel blooming. That's pretty.
It is pretty. I heard her this way. So, if you look very closely, you can kind of see that's
Shininess.
our creek garden right there. And now here, our line follows the creek, right?
Yeah, it follows the creek until we get right up there, then it turns and goes straight up the hill.
Yeah.
So what's across this creek right here is actually our neighbor's pasture and stuff, but ours turns right up there, about where Maggie's, no, it's probably this side of Maggie, and goes straight up the hill. And that hill is exactly like this hill, straight up and down. And it's so thick you can't hardly walk on it. And as many of y'all have probably heard us say, right up the road about a half a mile from our house, we have an additional 10 acres up there where the road comes through and splits that 10 acres. So part of it's on one side of the road, part of it's on the other side of the road. But it lays just about like this right here, except for the parts y'all see in the videos where we have gardens and stuff planted. That's the only flat land on that whole property.
It's just the lay of their land around here everywhere. So,
Everywhere, yeah, of course. I mean, it's the only flat places you have is at the top of a hill and at the bottom of a hill. But I like it because it forces you to think outside the box sometimes. You know, you're forced to figure out ways to use your land. Where if we had 17 acres on flat and was able to use every single inch of that 17 acres, we wouldn't have to get creative at all. You know what I mean?
You're true. That's right. That's right.
She's wide open.
She gets very excited down here. It's her favorite spot. So, y'all recognize this? Here is our road that comes down to the creek. This is where we cook at, and there's the garden. Our land again starts following this ridge, and it's very, very steep right here. So we just don't use that part. And it goes right to the wood line that you see on the edge of this garden.
You can tell how much rain we've had. Look at the water standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our land gets narrow down here at this point, and the farther up the hill you go, the narrower it gets. And that's simply because we bought this piece of land extra from where our house is up there. And originally there was the original farm actually went from here to my mom and daddy's house. And when the lady that owned that farm died, it got split between her kids. Well, since then, you know, the way they split it, it left some funny angles in the shape of the land. So that's why we have this one chunk right here that splits and just goes out like a triangle here, because it was split up the way it was. Basically, all they done was drew a straight line right down through the middle of them and give each kid a certain percentage of the land. Well, we were able to buy this piece from one of the kids and add it on to ours. But it just gives you some funny land lines when you have a farm that's being split up at some point in time, because they always try to cut something out, or they try to add it up into, you know, try to give each kid I guess you would say, the same proportion. And so it makes for some really funny land lines when you do that, though.
And right across the creek, that's the backside of the big part of our horse and cow pasture. It's hard to see because of the lighting, but you see the green? And it almost goes all the way back to the road.
So we actually had another comment the other day, and I thought I would address this one. Wanting to know why in the world we plant popcorn. What's the deal with the popcorn? And why are we so... And I don't think they were being mean about it. Like, they just wanted to legitimately know what's the deal with the popcorn. So the popcorn is just like everything else. If, you know, we like to eat popcorn, and you take homegrown fresh popcorn, when you pop that stuff on the stove, it blows anything that you can buy in the store out of the water. And we know what's been put on our popcorn, just like everything else. You know, so basically it's just one of the snacks that we like to grow for ourselves.
It's fun to grow. And
it's very fun to grow.
Yeah.
It's very fun to grow it, harvest it, and then when you go to pop it, know that you grew that just popped in that pan. You know, it is fun. So here we are walking right back up the road, coming back out from the creek back towards the house. Y'all have seen this one plenty of times on videos, us making the trip up and down this road. Right over there is our pasture. And as soon as we pop out of the woods up here, you'll be able to see our house up at the top of the hill. I love seeing those pigs walk across that hillside there. That's one of my favorite parts about having them on this hillside is when we're up here at the house on the back porch, you look out here and for some reason or other, they may take off running, you hear hoo, 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 and they go running across the hill, and it's just something nice to see. I don't know, I like pigs.
They're about the easiest thing to take care of.
Yeah, they're easier than chickens, they're easier than cows, they're easier than horses. Definitely easier than goats. So now we're back up to the top of the hill to like our, I guess you'd say our central, this is our, it's our main spot, ain't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, we got the garden up there, the pasture the steers are in, the pig fence or the pig lot, our raised beds gardens, and then over there's the top corner of the pasture. But anyways, we kind of hope you enjoyed this little tour of the place and everything we had going on in this video. And anyways, we appreciate y'all watching.
Until we see y'all in the next one.
Y'all have a good one.